Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
To see it turn into something, more than just a research project, into something that everybody's going to be able to take advantage of is very exciting.
If you live in Grand Forks, you might soon see more drones flying above you. These unmanned aircraft are part of a new program that can be used to help manage traffic control during a crash. Valley News Team's Maddie Jelseth shows us how it's keeping your family safe in emergency situations.
Grand Forks County is one of just 3 locations that is looking at adding an air traffic control system. This means if there's an accident in the area, you might get an alert that will reroute you, avoiding the crash completely.
When you have like your smart car out there, it's going to be able to communicate down to cars on the ground, maybe communicate down to the traffic lights on the ground to avoid. Maybe the Waze app is going to be able to be connected into this, and it's going to give us the most efficient traffic routing based off of drone information.
Nicholas Flom says UASs can replace dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs.
We're taking those those dangerous jobs, we're doing them maybe quicker, more efficiently, and we're collecting better data off of that to make things safer, more efficient.
You would also be able to look at the system's website, which would show when and where the drones are flying.
There's only so much space for us all to be out there. Sometimes we might have to separate ourselves vertically. Sometimes we might have to separate ourselves horizontally. But when I have a couple million drones across the country flying all at one time, we want to make sure that they're not running into each other.
Flom says this free pilot program won't eliminate jobs in the county. It will actually add more once it's rolled out. In Grand Forks, Maddie Jelseth, Valley News Live.
The system is still in its initial phase. They plan to have a final demonstration this summer and will send a report to the FAA, which will decide what to do next. Stick with Valley News Live for updates on this program. It felt pretty nice out there again today, but we're slipping back to the colder weather overnight. Hutch, good idea to shovel tonight, or maybe not?
Well, it really depends on where you are across the valley. It does look like things will quiet down, but this is a live look at our Dakota Magic Casino Cam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. The wind and gusts continue there with some snow and blowing snow across the area. As far as the snow goes, most of it has pushed off to the east and the south. Winter weather advisories continue for South Dakota and southern and eastern Minnesota for tonight. Temperatures will be slipping as we'll see decreasing clouds and wind well after sunset. So yes, some of you will have that snow that you shovel stay right where you put it. Temperatures falling to sub-zero by midnight tonight in Grand Forks. It looks like a chilly night, Andrea, and a quiet start to your midweek day as well. We'll have some snowfall reports from around the region here in just a few minutes and look into that hour-by-hour forecast as well.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Hutch.
You bet.
A West Fargo man has been sentenced to a year behind bars after his 8-month-old daughter drowned in a bathtub. 28-year-old Spencer Foner pleaded guilty to negligent homicide in November. Foner told police he put his daughter in a device that allows very young children to sit up in the tub, then ran the water and went to the kitchen for no more than 5 minutes. When he returned to the bathroom, the child was floating face up. Foner was also ordered Monday to serve 2 years of probation. 3 young children are lucky to be alive after the van they were in rolled along the interstate. Sergeant Jesse Grabo with the Minnesota State Patrol says the rollover happened around 9 this morning on I-94 by Rothsay. The 3 kids were all properly restrained in car seats and were in good spirits when authorities arrived. They received teddy bears for their bravery. The driver also was not hurt. A lot of commotion at Essentia Hospital in South Fargo today. A call for a fire came in around 8:15, but when crews arrived, they learned it was a burst heating pipe. That dumped around 500 gallons of a glycol water mix that produced steam mistaken for smoke. Firefighters helped to clean up the mess. The hospital was without heat for a short time. Authorities in Minnesota are searching for a suspect after a mother and daughter were found dead in their home. Officials say the 2 women were discovered shot to death Monday at an apartment complex in Minneapolis. They were identified as 67-year-old Eileen Mark and 42-year-old Jennifer Angerhofer. Police believe Mark was shot in her chest Saturday night, along with her daughter, who was shot in the head and neck. Neighbors say Angerhofer was in town visiting her mother at the time of death.
And when we're in places where there are other people, we always ask people to just do that. It's for their own personal safety.
Officials say the area does not experience high crime or anything of this magnitude, but they remind people to remain vigilant as the search continues. A bill meant to deal with robocalls is heading to the House floor with a due pass recommendation. The bill would allow citizens to take civil action against those who call and scam them out of money. The Industry, Business and Labor Committee initially voted for a do not pass. However, an amendment was added for a private cause of action, allowing citizens to bring a lawsuit forward and with stiffer penalties. Harold Grossman with the North Dakota Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division hopes the bill will dissuade robocallers because of the possibility of litigation.
The legislature and the Attorney General's office are taking the public's frustrations and concerns very seriously on this topic.
The committee voted for a due pass with the addition of those amendments. There's a lane closure coming up at Fargo that could slow you down. Beginning on Friday, the eastbound lane of 4th Avenue North will be closed between 8 a.m. and noon. That's between 7th and 9th Streets North. The city of Fargo says the closure is needed for utility work. Hundreds of farmers and producers from across the region came out to the Fargo Dome for the second annual Corn and Soybean Expo. It features educational panels on trade, marketing, and agriculture research. The expo also serves as a way to network with others and learn about new technologies that would benefit producers. Organizers tell us about 83 exhibitors and over 600 people were in attendance.
They gave us quite a bit of background on the work they're doing in the trade environment to expand our corn and soybean markets. Looking forward, I'm hopeful that a trade deal can be done so that our markets can return to normal.
The executive director with the North Dakota Corn Council says the corn industry adds 1,600 jobs and over $500 million to the state's economy. The Federal Agriculture Department has announced that North Dakota canola production set a record last year. In its annual crop production summary, the Federal Agriculture Department says a record yield and record acreage resulted in 3.1 billion pounds of canola in the state. That's up 24% from the previous year. Other crops that saw production increases in the state in 2018 were soybeans, oil sunflowers, flaxseed, dry peas, lentils, safflower, and alfalfa hay. Crops that saw decreases include corn, potatoes, sugar beets, non-oil sunflowers, and dry beans. Here's a warm thought if you're shivering from the cold and snow. The governor's fishing opener in Minnesota is just 3 months away. Governor Tim Walz will host his inaugural fishing opener in the Albert Lea area of southern Minnesota from May 9th through the 12th. This will be the 72nd annual Governor's Fishing Opener, which helps kick off Minnesota's summer travel season. Today, the Dakotas region of the American Red Cross unveiled a new and improved response vehicle to help better serve communities. This next-generation vehicle is the first of its kind in the Dakota region. It is fuel efficient, easier to drive with lower maintenance costs, and has ample storage for food, water, and supplies. And like all new car upgrades, the emergency response vehicle is now equipped with rear-view cameras as well as enhanced ergonomic systems to help Red Cross volunteers load and distribute supplies.
The window is lower, and so that as we're serving people, we can actually serve them at eye level and make sure that they see the compassion that we're bringing in addition to the food.
The donation to help pay for the new vehicle, roughly $125,000. After